Wait, are you prepared for the end of the world? Listen, Jesus is coming back, and I am going to tell you exactly how to prepare for the end of the age. Don't miss this video. Look, it's going to be about 5 or 6 minutes. Watch to the very end. This could help you be ready for the end of the world. Now, listen, this is not clickbait. This is not some fake thing. I am going to tell you straight out of the Bible how to know when the end of the world is coming and what to do to prepare. Okay? So follow along with me. We're getting straight into this thing. We are in Matthew 24. Now, the disciples, like many of you, wanted to know when the end of the age was. They asked Jesus, when will we know? When will this happen? How are we going to be able to tell? Jesus responded with a few signs. And again, you could read this, read all of Matthew 24. You'll get this. I'm going to give you all of the bullet points so that you are ready. Here's the signs to be looking for. False prophets and Christs. Wars and rumors of wars. We're certainly seeing those, aren't we? Famines. There's a lot of talk about famines. Earthquakes. That says in various places, it specifically says. And Jesus says this is the beginning of sorrows. Now again, I am not saying we are about to see Jesus return tomorrow or the next day or the next year. I'm not making a prediction. That's not what this is for. I am giving you the signs to look out for. But more importantly than the signs is what to do and how to be ready. There's a few more signs. Stick with me here. Jesus says there will be a great tribulation. The sun will be darkened. The moon will not give light. It's going to be pitch black. It says that stars will fall from heaven. And then it says this, the powers of heaven will be shaken. What does that even look like? I have no idea, but it sounds insane. And then here you go. It doesn't just say that the Son of Man will appear. Before the Son of Man appears, it says that the sign of the Son of Man will appear. Almost like a bat symbol or something like that. There's going to be a sign of the Son of Man. Following the sign, all tribes are going to mourn. They're going to begin to weep at the sign. And following this, we will see Jesus coming on the clouds with power and great glory. It says that his angels are going to gather Christians from the four winds and from one end of heaven to the other. Now listen, Jesus spends half a page talking about the signs. But more importantly than the signs, and I need you to stick with me here, don't skip off this video because this is more important than the signs. You see, the signs are just what to look out for. There's no consequences for the signs. But he spends 3 times as long. He spends a page and a half talking about what to do to prepare for the end. Now he says, no one knows the day or the hour. People are going to be caught off guard just like in the days of Noah. Now there's a theme that's coming here. He gives a parable of a faithful and an evil servant, people being caught off guard. One servant, the master leaves and he continues to work hard because he doesn't know when his master's returning. The master returns, finds him working hard, and promotes him. He's so thankful. There's an evil servant who says, my master's delayed at coming back. I'm just going to slack off and have a party and do whatever I want and beat the other servants. The master comes back at a time he didn't expect. And it says that servant is torn into pieces and casted into outer darkness. He was caught off guard. Then there's the parable of the wise and the foolish virgins. The foolish virgins were caught off guard. They were found without enough oil and they wanted to borrow it from the wise virgins, but they could not give it to them and they were not allowed inside. Then there's the parable of the talents where the man invested and the other man got more talents back for his, and then the man buried his talents because he was lazy and scared. It's about laziness. Finally, the last parable Jesus gives before he goes to be crucified. He gives the last parable, there's the Last Supper, and then he's delivered up for crucifixion. The last parable Jesus gives is about loving others, accepting Jesus Christ or rejecting Jesus Christ. Can I tell you this? More importantly than any sign, than any date, is what you are doing. If you want to be ready for the end times, you will work hard. You will work unto the Lord. You will be like the faithful servant who did not know when his master would return, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter when his master was coming back. He was going to be found doing exactly what he was supposed to be doing. It be like the wise virgin who stored up the oil, who spent time with the Lord. Oil represents intimacy with God, who was intimate with God regardless of when the time was to come. Be like the man who invested his talents, who did everything that he could to honor God with his resources, with his time, with his talents, literally in this parable. He was not lazy and he took risks. He acted in faith. And finally, be one who loves others. Remember that this is the greatest commandment we've been given. Love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. Jesus said that all of the commandments and the laws of the prophets hang on this, because love does no harm to a neighbor. Can I tell you that this is just a warning for Christians? If you are not a Christian, you should be afraid of the end of the world, because there is a real king and judge that is coming. He will judge the earth. But can I let you know something? He loves you so much that he paid the price for you to know him and to know the Father, to know God. Today, you can cry out to the Lord, ask him to forgive you of all of your sin and to give you a brand new heart, and begin following him. Begin heeding these warnings. Begin serving God faithfully. Begin investing your time and your treasures and your resources in the Lord, and begin to be wise. You see, when you live for yourself, you're living in foolishness. It's time to step onto this road, this narrow road of wisdom. Wisdom. The beginning of wisdom is to fear the Lord. Don't fear the end times. I'm not afraid of the end times because it's not a stranger that's coming back. It's my friend. It's my King. It's my Lord. And the Bible says that I can have confidence on that day. And I do have confidence because my friend is coming to get me. Do you have confidence? Are you ready for the end times? Can I tell you that you should not take the bait and buy the lie that you need to get in a bunker, not work, not have a family because Jesus is coming back? You will not find that in the scriptures. You will find that the people who did things like that would have been torn apart by their master because they were not working hard. Jesus is looking for lovers who will give everything they have until the final breath that they take or until he returns. Regardless of how we exit this earth, whether it's meeting Jesus in the clouds or we take our final breath while we live here and we transfer to be with him, can I encourage you, give everything to Jesus and you will be ready for the end times.